Come in.
Hello, Dr. Wei.
How are you? Andres Garcia, right?
That's right, that's right. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you in
Nice to
person.
meet you too.
I've heard a lot about you. I've actually referred to you through Dr. Lee.
He's my college roommate.
Oh, really? Yeah, Dr. Lee and I actually, we hit the golf course on a regular basis. You know, oh, wow, look at that.
Oh yeah, that's my honor. Nobody else can do that, yeah.
All in one trophy. Wow. Well, Dr. Lee mentioned that you're an avid golfer, and actually brought you a sleeve of golf balls. These golf balls were actually used at the Tour Championship this last season, and I had a sleeve right there, and I thought it was something you might appreciate.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, no problem. All right, Dr. Wei. Well, I wanted to sit down and talk to you about some of the things that our program, that our software can benefit through your practice here.
Okay.
Before we get started, I just kind of want to make sure we're on the same page. As far as decision making, are you the primary decision maker when it comes to?
Actually, I am, but we have another partner. He's not available today, but I can make basically all the decisions I want.
Okay, perfect. Just wanted to make sure that there wasn't anyone else you wanted to bring to the table.
Okay.
Well, Dr. Wei, what services that we provide is called MDO.
Okay.
It's a medical data organizing program.
I see.
Now, this program is really specializes in making sure that medical information is secure and that it's transferred great with our clients. Dr. Wei, do you mind if I ask you a few questions to sort of to assess what your needs are? All right, Dr. Wei. Well, let's start off here with the basic question. Approximately how many patients do you have?
Right now we have 100 patients, but we're kind of looking at 150 by the end of this year.
Okay, wow. So you're looking at doing some growth?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Well, you have 100 patients now. It's a pretty big number. How do you keep track of all your patients?
Actually, we have a room for that. We have a big file cabinet, and each patient have a dedicated files, and all their histories is keeping in that folder. So we have a dedicated also administrative assistant, retrieve the files when the patient came in.
Okay, so basically like those manila folders that we've all seen in the doctor's office.
Sure.
Okay, so you use that system to keep track of all your files. As far as appointments go, how do you keep track of all your appointments?
We have an appointment book. My assistant will, when the patient call in, and she will dedicate a specific day for the patient. And then when there's patients they coming, and my assistant will call the patient in advance to notify them to have an appointment next day. Okay.
So you have a system in place to help minimize cancellations, so you can notify the patient reminder. Okay. How effective would you say that this system is for keeping track of your patients and even the storage of the files? How effective would you say that is?
I'm not sure, because every time I go through that room, it's like I see like two assistants trying to match the patient's profile and trying to find the patient's file. I'm having a little bit hard time with that. I don't know. I just read that maybe okay because everybody else is using the same system as far as I know.
Okay, so definitely maybe some room for improvement there in efficiency.
Yes, sure.
Okay. Now we talked about your patient's medical history and their appointments, how you keep track of that. What do you do to keep track of your prescriptions, issuing and keeping record of what prescriptions you
Like every traditional doctor will do, we have a little prescription book. We'll actually write a prescription and then sign my name and then issue to the patient, and he or she will take to the pharmacist to get medicines.
Okay, so you go and generally write a prescription out, send it down, and give it to them. Have you ever thought about maybe some of the security issues that are entailed with
Well, actually, there's news says that sometimes doctors' handwriting is not good enough, and the pharmacists have a hard time to do it. But
that's one issue, definitely.
Yeah, but I write clear, but the risk I might not know. Sometimes there's a risk. Yeah, sure.
You're one of those doctors that has good handwriting.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, well, there are some other security issues that doctors need to be aware of. With that prescription book, becomes a lot of liability. If that prescription book were to somehow disappear from this office, you'd have that issue of your name being on a prescription pad and being issued out that way. That's one of the we have a feature that helps minimize some of those security risks. Let me ask you another question. So let me switch gears away from the medical questions. How do you process your bills? How do you make sure that payment is made? How do you deal with the insurance claims? What steps do you take to make sure that works efficiently?
As I said before, we have one employee dedicated for that. And after we have all the procedure done to the patient, we submit all the documentations to that employee, and she will update everything and issue the check or bill the insurance company, do all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So you have a medical assistant that specializes in taking care of all the billing process. On that, how much time does she spend a week?
She's a full-time employee, and she basically dedicate about half of the time, doing that things.
So we'll say about 20 hours a week.
20 something, yeah.
About 20 hours a week she spends on that?
Yeah, at least.
Now, could you think of maybe something that she could be doing more effective for your business, for your practice?
That would be much more nice.
There's definitely some other things that she could be helping you out with during those 20 hours. We could trim some of that back and give you some of it. Okay. Well, Dr. Wei, from some of the answers to these questions I just gave you, I think that our program would be a great fit for your office and help address some of the issues that you stated. Keeping track of your patients, the prescriptions, also billing processing. You said that you're spending about 20 hours. You have an employee spending about 20 hours. We can trim that down. Another great thing we can do for you is growth. You mentioned growth.
Yes.
And this is a great way to keep track of all your patients and help you get to some of the growth goals that you have for you. Now, if I were able to give you a program, an easy-to-use software, and put it in here to make you hit all these goals, do you think that's something that you would want to work with?
I think that'll be modernize our, clinic. Because everybody's using computer right now. You see that I'm still using books.
Okay. Well, if you don't mind, let me show you some of the features here. And
sure. Let me see what you got.
Pull up my laptop.
Wow, that's a very little tiny device over there, huh?
Now everything's getting smaller. It has all that computing capacity. Yeah, I want to pull this out so I can show you some of the things that MDO will actually be able to do for you. Now here, check this out. You said that you want to keep track of your patients. Now, usually when you say keeping track of your patient, we're looking at names, last names. Now, in a medical practice, there are times where you might want to search under different criteria, correct?
Sure.
Okay. Well, this right here, when you click on this button right here, it drags down an open menu where you can actually pick any criteria that you want to search for. We actually have an active response feature here where you can actually change some of the search field criteria very easily. Click in. Maybe you want to search a certain ailment to find out how often you're seeing someone with a specific problem. You can actually run those types of searches. It helps keep people keep track of your patients a lot more efficiently. Now, one of the things also, the patient medical histories that we do, we actually are able to get all that medical history. And part of our service when we're converting your office into the MDO program is we'll go through all of your hard copy files, all of the medical history, and we'll digitally scan that and put that onto the system.
That's cool.
Now, we guarantee that that transfer will happen and that it will be 100% guaranteed as far as accuracy goes. We understand that accuracy in your profession is of the utmost importance, and we want to live up to that excellent standard as well. So we guarantee that this transfer will happen because we can't have a little misspelling here, a word missed out here, a page left out, because these are people's health we're dealing with, and that's something very important. So we will be able to reduce that room. You mentioned that room when we were talking earlier.
Oh yeah, it's a huge room for the files and stuff.
Yeah, I kind of caught a little tongue. You weren't happy about the fact that you might, you're spending all this space for these filing, for storage basically. And that's something that our program also helps eliminate. We're able to take all that digital information now, and we're able to reduce it down and put it on the server for you. About a 2x5 server, and that eliminates that entire room. Wow. Exactly.
Mhm.
Now that room is freed up for if you want to maybe add another examination
Mhm.
room, some more laboratory equipment,
Mhm.
something that is more medically than storage. 'Cause that's what
Yes.
you're doing. You're storing your
Mhm.
files there.
Mhm.
That's one thing that it does for you. Another thing that it does for you, talking about some more features,
Mhm.
your appointments.
Mhm.
Your appointments. Now, you said that you have a person that you can handwrite the appointments.
Handwriting, yes.
And then we go back and verify, and by confirming with the patient,
Confirming.
calling them up the day before.
Sure.
Now, everyone's terminal will be hooked into this database.
Mhm.